Eternal night stalks the cobbled streets of Duskfall, the dark jewel of the immortal emperor's crown, entrenched in a web of protective lightning, crisscrossed by canals and born of the amalgamated ingenuity of sheer desperate survival. The city's denizens languish in the dim and distant light of a shattered star. What secrets lie hidden in the gloaming courts and crepuscular grottos? Is that right?
Crepuscular.
Bobby, I hate you. That's such an Edgar Allan Poe word. I love it. You told me, and I still can't say it. Crepuscular?
No, you got it. That's correct.
All right. What secrets lie hidden in the gloaming courts and crepuscular grottos? What can anyone do when even spirits cannot escape the endless night, and every street, house, and hall in the city is haunted? Whatever you can get away with, my friends, welcome to Haunted Halls.
Yeah, woo! Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Excellent job. I want you to know that I'm not cutting a single word of that whole mid-rant discussion right there.
I think
that's
like you
great.
should.
We'll do 2 versions. We'll see.
You've been
how it goes.
outvoted.
Come on, guys.
True. I think
come
it was
on.
good. We all laughed a little bit. It was fun, poking fun at me using stupid words that Christy appreciated. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Big
Crepuscular is that's like a $25 word. I would never drop that in normal conversation.
Oh, no.
Because people would be like, come on.
Yeah.
Disbelieving face for
Yes.
the listening audience. Man, so we were talking before we started recording, and I think I want to jump right back. No, you know what? I'm going to introduce myself. I'm your host, Bobby White. It's wonderful to be here this evening talking to all of our fans at home. Thank you so much, Mom and Dad, because you're probably the only ones. I am joined, as always, by Jerry. You might recognize him from his groundbreaking performances, The Ghost Who Refuses to Boo, and Casper, the existential reboot. A classically trained method actor, he once spent 3 weeks haunting an abandoned Quiznos to prepare for this role. Jerry, how you feeling tonight?
I'm full because that Quiznos still had like some pizza dough in it, so it was very
bread.
delicious. And that's how you get into character.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
I was robbed of my Emmy this year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know what? You've got an Emmy right here, Jerry.
There we go. Got her. We got her.
Emmy, played by Christy. Christy shot to fame after her one-woman show, Seance and Sensibility, broke all known records for audience fainting. She also voiced the Spectral Fog and Scooby-Doo, the Prestige years, though the Academy continues to snub her contributions to atmospheric whispering. How's it going tonight, Christy?
You know what? I'm feeling pretty great. I love Scooby-Doo. If I get to be a part of that,
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
Scooby-Doo, TM. We don't want to step on their, what's that thing I'm looking for? Their copyright.
right.
Thank you so much. Jesus. All right. And finally, we've got Bonnie at the table. Bonnie's best known for a recurring role as corpse number 3 who won't stay down.
That sounds right.
In Law and Order Paranormal Intent. She was also briefly blacklisted from Broadway after accidentally summoning a real spirit during an improv exercise.
Right.
How are you tonight, Bonnie?
Well, all I can tell you is that spirit never really went away. We can talk about that later.
Never actually sleeps. We never sleep.
We never sleep.
It actually inspires a lot of the gameplay in this very room. Okay, so yeah, before we got started, we were all talking about some our first experiences playing games, and I was talking about how, as a good GM, I always pull my punches if it seems like I've got a new character or something, or the scene isn't super important to the overall plot. Chrissy, why don't you tell us about your first experience?
Well, let me set the scene and say that Bobby was the DM, so this is all his fault.
Here.
The very first game I ever played, D&D, so excited. I formed this character based on Greek mythology, right? And clearly I'm obsessed because I talked about Greek mythology last time. Anyway, my mother is a wolf in this game, right? She raised me from infancy. And she died in the first game by a gunshot, no less.
Drow gunshot in a Pathfinder game.
Was it Pathfinder?
It was Pathfinder. No, you're right. It was D&D.
It was
fifth
D&D.
edition.
Yeah.
It was. We were playing. I'm not going to give them any credit. It doesn't matter what we were playing. But a drow elf, yeah, Wizards of the Coast.
Bobby, stop.
Get right with the Lord.
Yes, get right.
Wizards of the Coast.
Get it right, get it tight.
Yeah.
Get it right, get it tight.
Walk around the corner.
Oh.
I decide I've got 5 NPCs. Or 5 PCs. I'm not going to kill any of them. So I pick one of the ones who's technically an NPC. And I'm like, let's just see what happens. I roll a natural 20. I'm like, good Lord. Well, probably won't be enough to kill it. Roll the damage. Completely enough to kill it. And I'm like, at least it's not one of the PCs. Blah! And then proceed to describe your adopted mother's head exploding.
That was awful. That was awful.
Awful.
We don't use
awful.
terms like adopted here.
Oh, that's true.
She
Yeah.
is my mother.
Your mother.
My true
Yeah.
mother.
I killed your mother. I resurrected her later, though.
You did. You did. I think she was in the form of an owl.
She was, yeah.
Resurrected.
Or a bat or something.
Reincarnated.
Something weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Something flying. Something with
A
flight.
bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bonnie, can you remember your first experience playing in a game?
Actually, yes, I can. So there was a moment, and let me say, I feel like I'm going to make up for reading our opening story here, but messing up that word, because the first time I played D&D with you, there was a spell, Expeditious Retreat.
Expeditious Retreat. Yep, I'm tracking.
Okay, I'm sitting here. I'm at the table with these guys who have been playing this forever, and I said, "Oh, I cast Expeditious Retreat." And when I tell you, they looked at me like, "Girl," and I said, "What?" They said, "You mean Expeditious Retreat?" I said, "No, that is not what I mean. It's right here." And all of them said, "Hot damn," or something along those lines. But
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to point out that Expedia.com was really big at the time. Had a really big impact on me when I was growing up. So, expediousretreat.com.
Expeditious. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm dead wrong. I was dead wrong then. I'm dead wrong
Yep.
now. Jerry, what about you? What was your first time, Jerry?
First time.
Oh gosh.
Wow. So the long story is, I get fired from not online, but a school job. Looking for a job. Get a job at Rhino Video Games.
Yep.
Shout out to Rhino Video Games.
Yeah.
TM.
Oh, it's no more.
Yeah,
Oh.
no.
Oh.
It is in the ground.
Rip.
As a matter of fact, it was the ghost that you summoned on stage.
Oh no, the one that's still with us now.
That's right.
In this very room.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So get a job at Rhino Video Games, and I run into Bobby and my boy Derek.
Yeah.
Shout out to Derek. I know you listen to this.
TM.
Be burn.
TM. Copyrighted.
Yeah.
And then they get up the nerve. I think you guys were scared to approach me about playing this game. It's like, oh, Jerry's not going to like that.
Yeah. Didn't know what to expect.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got into a lot of nerd crap.
Yeah.
There. Never played Magic before. Played
right.
it there. And they're like, hey, you want to come play D&D with us? Like, what the hell is D&D?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, fine, cool.
The 2000s were a magical time when nobody knew what D&D was unless it was a terrible thing that they knew what D&D was. I had to hide my books in my bag.
No. Couldn't be out as a nerd.
Uh-uh.
Now we're making a podcast.
My dad took away my books one time because he was like, what is this?
Oh,
What
they
is this satanic
say it
stuff?"
satanic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it was super
no.
satanic in the 90s.
Oh, yeah, big
Forget
time.
it,
The Satanic Panic.
But
Yeah.
go on,
Well,
Jerry.
I mean, and that was it. My first character was also a woman,
Stella.
a Stella. She was a brawler, and
Okay.
she was probably over sexualized.
No.
guess I haven't-
Yeah, we would never do that.
Like never,
As
never.
as young men, we would never do that in a
We've been
game.
progressive since
Yeah.
day one. So
That's
yes.
right. Yeah.
She was fiercely independent. And
We're progressive
she was,
positive around here.
She was our tank. Was she our tank or
She was
just
a tank,
fighter?
yeah.
She was our tank. So and
Yeah.
5 years later, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know my age.
Yeah, 5 years later. You said that, and I was like, wait a second.
Jerry, didn't you just turn 21 last year?
Time dilation's a real thing.
You see this dewy skin? Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I remember because but I think we became friends, real friends, the night that Stella dropped, and then my scrawny little wizard stood over her, and
Yeah.
it didn't have any spells left, so I was just trying to kill goblins with a staff.
Oh, was that when we got dropped into the
Yeah. Shout out to
shout out?
Shout out to Derek and James. You
Derek
know who
and
you are.
James.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boys. But yeah, no, you stood over me and like,
Oh, God.
yeah. What the hell was everyone else doing? No, because
Fighting.
everyone was in.
It was the two-ended hallway because we were idiots and we got
Yeah.
trapped. Yeah, it was terrible. Pincer,
We're terrible at
Yeah.
Tabletop role playing games.
really,
Hello.
really bad at it. All right.
Here we are.
So
Here we
so
are.
good. Okay. When last we left off, our brave and intrepid hero. Wait a second. We're playing Blades in the Dark. Our scoundrels, scallywags,
Yeah.
ne'er-do-wells were running their bar, the Looking Glass. They had not accepted. You guys haven't figured out which one you're going to go with yet.
No, we haven't made a decision.
But you have heard of 3 separate jobs that have appealed to your sense of wanting to make that money. One is to recover some actual whiskey barrels from a hold, a very rare hold, I might say, that the Dimmer sisters have. They usually operate out of 6 towers, but your boy Hoxley has gotten word that they've got some actual barrels of whiskey here in Silk Shore for some reason, and they are ripe for the taking. You also got a job from Jaren, who said that a good cop did a bad thing and internal affairs is breathing down his neck, and he and some of the other officers have taken up perhaps a very crooked collection to try and hire some ne'er-do-wells to take care of that problem for them. So you have that. You break into a police stronghold and steal some evidence. Woohoo!
All
Not
right.
Not as much coin on that one, but worth a few favors with the blue coats, which is a big thing. Did I say cloaks a minute ago? I better not have.
I think you did.
You did the same thing last time.
Get it together.
I can't. I keep looking. I keep thinking cloak. Everybody, it's blue cloaks.
You could, you know what?
Yeah.
You could always, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a faction called the Blue Cloaks that aren't the blue coats, but are like a mercenary band that's like, if you don't want to deal with actual cops, you can hire us.
And they were ex-blue coats.
Those are the gray coats.
Those are the gray coats.
Oh,
I
that's
thought they're
right.
gray cloaks.
The gray cloaks are a group of people who are very similar to the gray.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
Yeah, this game, so many opportunities for improv and adding into the story. I just love it. That's legit, though. That actually, what I just said is 100% true. This game is amazing, and everybody should play it. The final job was given to you by a toothy gentleman, Brill.
Brill with
drug
the
dealer.
teeth.
Oh,
Yeah,
Brill.
Brill with the teeth, who makes a very special drug called the Dragon's teeth, dragon tooth, dragon fang.
Dragon teeth, I think.
We'll have to go back and listen to the episode to catch that one. Listeners,
Dragon
if you want to
cloaks.
correct us, you can put it into the subreddit that I haven't made yet, but will, I promise, by the time we
Dragon.
release this episode.
Dragon cloaks.
Yeah, I want to say it was the dragon teeth.
Yeah.
A glowing narcotic that makes people manic that the lady of the docks partook in and got a little tiny bit wild
Got a little loosey-goosey.
outside of the clubs over where he was working.
Go back to the club.
That's right. Back to the club.
The club.
I think they call it. Yeah.
We all
So,
am.
so 3 jobs, 3 possibilities, 3 directions that your crew could go. What do you think? What's everybody thinking? Just
Where are we
on the
meeting
surface.
at? We back in the bar?
You're back in the bar.
We're back in the bar.
You
Yeah.
set that tone with a little music. Bing. That's for future Bobby.
Clickety clack.
Clickety clack. Don't clap back.
All right. I grab
sorry, yeah,
3
yeah.
glasses. I fill it full of mushroom liquor. I slide it to everybody. I take a sip. I'm like, I don't understand why I still drink this. Ladies, we need some coin.
Apparently, Hoxley's breathing down our necks.
I know.
I mean, what the fuck? This man needs a life.
I hate
needs
this
a-
guy. I hate this guy.
Well, let's keep it down. We don't want him to hear us.
He's the devil you know.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to try and do? Actually, you know what? We'll do in the next downtime between scores after we finish the score. Maybe a good thing to start would be to investigate Hoxley. Try and figure out who he's working for, where he got the coin for your startup in the first place.
Can we start a clock on that?
Yeah, I can start a clock on that. Once it happens,
Okay.
Oh.
booyah.
All right. But we need coins to keep them off our back. And honestly, this place is looking musty and dusty. So we need some coins to spruce it up and get some people in here.
I say we go for the whiskey.
Okay.
First of all, it's not
Interesting.
that dusty. I was cleaning
The whole game.
furiously
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
earlier.
Yeah, I was
Still just
pretending.
musty,
I was
not
pretending
dusty.
to sweep. Okay.
You were pretending. Yes, you're keeping it up as much as you possibly can, but we just need more of an ambiance. So
Right. Fair enough.
I like the barrel. I mean, I don't mind drugs, but
I don't love it.
there's a 2 steps. We have to sell it later.
Ugh. No.
So, and that's not really our thing. So, I like the barrel, but also, I mean, your future husband.
No.
No,
Ooh.
Baby daddy, we might.
No.
Whoa.
Oh, definitely not that.
Jeez.
guys, they haven't got to that point yet.
No.
No.
Tell us about it.
Listen, Jaren's got a lot of stuff going on.
What's
in his
what's your
life. He's,
feelings towards him?
First of all, we don't have a lot of feelings toward each other. We just happened to have worked together previously.
Sure.
Ooh,
You
Closely.
served. You made bonds.
served together. You fought a war together.
You did.
Right.
Held
we
each
did.
other.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I'm just trying to get some information.
ladies really pushing it here.
Because I want to know. I mean, because you tell me he's 6'4" and rugged looking.
6'4".
He's got an awesome voice.
He does have an awesome voice.
Yeah, that voice.
6'4", black hair. What are the other blonde? Is it blonde? I thought blonde was for the ones who were not main male character.
That's
material.
okay. There are some one-off books.
Okay.
There's some
true.
one-off books.
It's true.
This is from a romance novel conversation we had, dear listener, in which Jerry and I learned a lot of things about the norms and tropes of romance novels.
I did not know. And now I do.
Yep.
They tend to be 6'4".
Yes.
They tend to have dark hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one,
Muscles.
yes, very fit,
Every time.
Always, every single time.
very jacked.
Yeah.
Steroids.
CEO of a major corporation who is so addicted to work that it's a problem,
Oh yeah.
and yet finds all that time to keep that physique sculpted.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
It's important. Real man does that.
Yep.
It's not magical thinking.
No.
No.
This is real stuff.
real
This is
stuff.
real talk.
This is not a fantasy
Listen
novel.
up, listeners. You better be listening to this on a treadmill.
Yeah. You know what? Get those gains. Am I right? Get those gains, dog.
No pain, no gains, baby.
It's
Yeah.
all about bulk.
Get that creatine.
Get up at 4
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning. Take the tape off your mouth.
Oh
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
God.
Dunk your face in some ice water.
Yes.
Prepared for you by a faceless woman.
Yeah.
Manicured servant.
All your women should be faceless. Women, no.
Oh
Jerry.
no. Well,
Jeez.
No,
We are
up.
we are face positive on this podcast.
We sure do like faces around
We
here.
do love faces.
Anyway.
All right.
Speaking of beautiful faces, your boyfriend has a job for
There
us.
it is.
boyfriend.
Yes.
No. However, the boy toy.
Ooh.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yes. So yeah, I think I told y'all a little bit about it earlier, but yes, Jaren has offered us a deal to help out a little friend of his in his faction, we'll call it, someone who's a little dirty, and we can go in and help him out.
What are we going to get for it? How much coin?
Not much. Was it 3 coin?
coin.
I think.
Yeah.
And-
3 coin.
but
Hoxley offered 5.
There's a lot more. However, we're also being offered 2 favors. 2 by the Bluecoats.
I got to say, this group almost never does anything overly loud, too bombastic. You certainly don't bomb things or like kill a bunch of
Never.
people. You probably
We
won't
would
ever
never.
need favors from the police.
We would never.
Yeah.
I mean, well, maybe you use that favor to get into certain places, have them look a certain way.
True. 3 coins isn't bad.
How much was the barrel? Or was just the barrels?
5 coins.
5 coin and a barrel to
And a
keep
barrel.
for your bar.
Was the barrel full or just a barrel?
Oh, that sounds like the kind of thing that you'd find out if you started planning for that one.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Decisions.
Yeah. I want to remind everybody, one of the tenets of being players and Blades in the Dark, lean into the scoundrelry and villainy and make bold moves without thinking too hard.
I was
We
going.
want to jump right to the action.
We're going right into the action. So we have to make a decision right now. What did we decide? Barrel, Jaren.
I
Don't worry about
say
teeth.
I say blue coat favors.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like I've been convinced.
Okay.
I mean, couldn't use
Okay.
the barrel, but
We
hey,
could, but
2 favors, 3 coins.
That's worth a lot.
I'd say.
Spend time with your boy toy.
We won't really be spending time with him for this.
Oh, I mean, downtime, you will. So let's get into it. Let's go, ladies.
Let's go.
Let's go make that coin.
That is literally shocking. I'm going to be honest with you all. That was the absolute last one I thought you were going to pick.
Wow.
Really?
Absolutely.
I was never really considering the drug one, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The-
That
I mean, it
one,
wasn't
yeah.
any coin.
That was the throwaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
was
one's
the
a
throwaway.
Right.
So the fact that you think that the blue coat one was the last one is interesting.
It was
Yeah.
the throwaway. The blue coat, you know.
No, he thought we were greedy and get barrels, but we
thought
have
you'd
a
go for that
long
whiskey.
game.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's true. This is long game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
We're-
gonna be
Those
really
favors.
upset when Hoxley comes for one of those 3 coin that you make.
Hoxley is going to be really upset when he comes for those 3 coins.
Yeah, he will be. I'll start that clock too.
He can,
Oh,
he can learn
Let
to be a
him.
patient man.
Let him.
Okay.
We've got legions of the undead at our fingertips.
Soon.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we start a score, the first thing that we have to do is we have to talk about choosing your target, choosing your loadout, deciding what kind of plan type it is. So we've already chosen the target. I could let you do a little bit of research if you guys wanted to. So
Yeah.
anybody who wants to tell me what kind of action you're using, and then we'll drop into a scene.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, Jaren seemed to plan to give us information later. So we'll be hitting him up for more information.
Okay.
So, Jaren, what you got for us?
Fuck, what was Jaren's voice? Jaren's voice was just like normal, but a little bit serious.
There
Yeah.
it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Falling into
He's a
it.
little sad boy.
He
Yeah.
is. Bless.
I do. Jaren is, you walk in once again while he's sorting through files, filing away evidence, literally keeping some of the more dirty cops away from the drug stashes that they've got. You know, they're like, oh, we got to take that up for evidence call. And he's like, not today. So as you walk in, he's very distracted. I do need an action. What kind of action are you going to use to try and get more information out of him?
Hey, buddy. Just waving at him.
You got to pick one from the list.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Hunt, study, survey, tinker. I think probably, and I'm not ever supposed to suggest actions, but I will since we're still early in the game. Consort is that kind of like flirty thing you could do. Sway to just convince him.
Okay.
Command if you want to get all like Dom all over him.
I mean, there's
Make
a time
him-
and a place for that.
Yeah, you know. What do you think?
I guess consort. I mean, my first thought was sway,
Mm-hmm.
but consort seems more appropriate. Y'all are coming with me, right, ladies? I mean, we all need
Girl,
this
yeah.
information.
You want us to come with you?
Yeah.
Okay, we're there with
Yeah,
you.
Of course.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. I've been preparing for this one.
Oh no.
Are you going to do the voice?
Yeah.
Are you going to do the
I'm gonna
voice?
try to do the voice. I'm
Do the
gonna try.
voice. Do it.
The voice.
I'm gonna try. All right, we're all there.
Yeah. He says it's always all 3 of you.
Hey.
What do you mean always?
Always. Last 200 times. No, I'm just that's ridiculous. But he does say, he says, this is 2 times in a row you've brought your cohort with you.
They weren't with me last
You're not happy
time,
to
just
see
the
us?
time before.
And
Yeah. He says, what do you want?
J-Bug, aren't you not happy to see us?
I'm happy if you're here to talk about what I'm hoping you're here to talk about.
Well, 2 things can be true.
Mm.
We are here to talk about that, but also we can chit chat.
but not for long. We have things to do.
He says, you're literally in my place of business.
This is not a business, to be clear.
Dang.
He's like, what do you want? I'm very busy.
First of all, you're not that busy.
He gestures around where there are active like blue coats coming in and checking out equipment. And he says, I'm extremely busy.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
He is definitely very busy, but that's okay. We're going to pretend like he's not.
Okay. All right.
I will pretend like he's not.
Yeah. He's just exasperated. He's like, please just tell me what you need.
The information. What do you want us to do? I don't know anything.
Okay. All right. So you're going to take the job?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't talk about this here.
Oh.
Meet me in the alley behind the noodle shop on Canal Street.
The noodle shop.
He's like, you know the one. We used to meet after our patrols.
Really quick, while we're here and while they're talking, could I kind of maybe roll prowl to take a look at all the evidence?
There it is. Yes. Give me that action roll.
All right.
I will say there could be some consequences to getting caught prowling in a blue coat. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Can I assist?
If you want to spend stress before we even get into the score, absolutely.
We'll take a stress to help out.
Oh,
Yeah.
heck yeah. So I get an extra dice
Yep.
for that one. I'm rolling 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have
the 6.
Yep,
There
a
it
6 and 2
is.
threes, y'all.
Okay. For the listening audience, if you've never played Blades in the Dark, you roll dice equal the amount of dots you've got in a particular skill, and you take the best result you get. So a 6, full success, absolutely no consequences. You slip behind probably where you're not supposed to be while Emmy is distracting Jaren, and you pull a file that he has marked. It's marked file for Emmy.
Ooh.
Because he's, not a super high level police officer, not super great at what he does. Yet, we all have room to grow. You find out that there is a person named Inspector Finnick. Finnick is the one who has gotten the evidence on this crooked cop, and apparently it's a locket of some arcane means. It takes the blood of somebody who grabs it. So if left in, say, an evidence locker or someplace where it shouldn't be tampered with, and then stolen by a crooked cop who's going to turn around and try and hawk it, say, on the street for extra cash, extra coin, it takes their blood and marks them, and then they have that DNA to be able to kind of take to the spirit wardens and say, we need this person. Who is this? So this is in a lockbox. It is being watched over by Inspector Finnick and his protege, Constable Warris, and the two of them are set to move it within the week to the magistrate's court. The clock is literally ticking on this one. So,
Okay.
yeah. With a 6,
Noted.
too, with a 6, I'm going to say this. There's a silent bell alarm in these kind of holding areas. So if you steal something, especially if you don't steal it without, say, pulling like an Indiana Jones style switcheroo, wah-wah, then that's where your danger of getting caught is
Sure.
being. Yeah.
But we do know that it's going to be in transport. So that's something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Are we stealing some down here?
I mean, not today,
Okay.
but we did get some good intel on a potential job to get some cool stuff.
All right.
A heist.
Okay.
Great roll, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not a problem. I love stress.
Yeah. Stressing up right off the bat. That's the other thing. Stress is currency for surviving encounters in this game. So we'll see how that goes for the old lady of the docks. All right. If it's okay with everybody, flash forward to the noodle shop.
Yeah.
See if you can pick up any other special information from Jaren.
Anybody got survey?
I do.
Figure out.
Survey's a good one.
I have one in survey.
Okay.
Kind of talk to him about
Where
stuff.
is my character sheet? Did I give it back to you?
Is this it,
That's it.
Jerry?
Yep. You gave it to me so I could write it all down in here.
Okay.
Yeah. Eventually, I would love to get to where everybody has Roll20 up, because you can literally put all this on your character sheets in there.
Now we
And
can.
it's a shared thing. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we flash forward. We're at a noodle shop, and again in Silk Shore. Right off one of the canals, there are electroplasm lights kind of glowing in the distance, and then above the noodle shop itself, it just says Harry's, and that's it. Harry's Noodles, Harry's whatever, but it's Harry's, and the A in Harry has been replaced with a pink. All the rest of it is like a lime green electroplasm color. You know, electroplasm is used in every way that we basically use electricity in our world, but this is powered by demon blood. So it always does a little strange, little spooky things.
A little spice.
A little spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of spicy, Jaren's sitting there.
Oh.
He's looking haggard. He's coming off of an 8-hour shift of getting ridiculed for being down in the basement, basically being a secretary, which there's nothing wrong with being a secretary. However, when you're a police officer and maybe you don't. Nope, I'm not going to say that. I don't want to alienate police officers. Fuck.
Well, this isn't what he aspired to
No.
be, especially
Right.
considering he has a background
position
in
Well,
the military.
And if he would have gotten that promotion,
Yeah.
there we go.
Let's just say he takes a lot of shit for not being a beat cop and instead being a basement cop,
Yeah.
a desk jockey, especially at a relatively young age.
Yeah.
He says, I'm in a bad mood because the shift is always rough. I have the Sunday scaries every day of the week.
Damn.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, I don't have the Sunday scaries with my job, so you might want to consider switching career paths. Saying.
What, join the gray coats? I couldn't dishonor my family like that. It's just not, no offense, of course.
Who said anything about gray coats? Go off on your own, man.
That's what happens. That's what, if you're a blue coat and you go bad, you become a gray coat.
Yeah.
What about a blue cloak?
We talked about glue cloats while you were gone.
Yeah.
Glucose.
Glucose.
Deep cloating.
This
Yeah.
sounds.
It's really gross.
Sounds-
Yeah, it's really nasty.
I don't like it.
Yeah. He says, listen, I've got one more thing I can tell you. Somebody in the outfit has one of your faces. I don't know who it is, but I overheard the name of the Looking Glass come up in conversation. I don't know about how or why, but you're in with some bad people. There's a smuggler, Hoxley. He's been seen at your place. So.
Well, Jaren, sounds like you're in with some bad people too. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
First of all, there are plenty of people who come into our establishment.
Sure.
Who cares?
Fair warning. Just giving you fair warning.
All right.
All right.
Get the job done, please. And I will think more highly of you next time I get the opportunity to quash talk like that.
All right. All right. So,
The station house is over in Crowsfoot. I know that they're moving the goods to the magistrate's office in 6 towers. It's one of the minor ones. There's not a lot of heat on this. You should be able to get in and get out, make the trade, or intercept it on the way. The less I know, the better. So good luck, and thanks for taking this job. I know you don't have to.
You're welcome.
And then he gets that noodle and it's like goes.
Oh, wow.
That's a long noodle.
They're so good. So spicy though.
There's no spicy, just mushroom.
It's got pepper on it.
It's mushroom pepper.
Mushroom pepper. Oh no.
Pardon me, I have the second noodle.
mushroom pepper is special. It's not
Ooh,
like
mushroom,
regular
right.
pepper.
Right.
It's true. It's like white pepper, but mushroomy.
But mushroomy.
With umami.
Oh.
Isn't that the flavor you get from mushroom?
yeah.
Mushrooms give
Umami.
you the umami. Yeah.
Why did you have to say it like that?
Oh yeah.
No.
How do we used to say
No.
No, I don't remember that. Do you remember that, Jerry? No. Christy? No, I don't.
No.
We didn't.
I don't know who said that.
Ooh,
Not us.
umami. It's that flavor. It's that mushroom pepper, which is now a thing in canon in my game in this city.
Mushroom pepper.
Yeah, mushroom pepper.
You can only get at Harry's.
It's that like umami spice, and I'm doing the chef's kiss maneuver with my hand.
Okay. All right. Well, so
Anyway,
are we going to intercept it while it's on the move, or are we going to, I guess, once it gets to its location, then try to?
Sounds a lot
So
like
then-
you guys are starting to get into planning.
oh yeah.
I have to.
I gotta put the kibosh on
You
that.
got to put the kibosh
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And Blades in the Dark, we cut straight to the action. So all I really need to know, without any, what if this happens, and should we do this, and should we prepare for this, is I want to know what your approach is. So is it going to be an assault? Are you going guns a-blazing and like wreck this place? Is it going to be a cult? Are you going to use ghosties and creep skis to get in there? Deception, where you literally run a con job on this? You know, it's kind of sounds like that's up y'all's cruise alley now with some of the changes that Jerbear made.
Yeah.
You could do a social one where you literally set up some kind of, that might be a little bit more difficult in this because you're thinking like a party where you
Right.
convince somebody to bring the locket that you have to trade out. A stealth where it is a full-on cap burglary, or a transport where you try and grab it en route to somewhere.
So,
We get extra if we do it weird, right?
That's a great question, Jerry. Let me look at the Silk Road without accidentally giving you a bunch of experience.
I mean, you could.
Yeah, you could.
I feel like you get extra. Yeah. So you have strange as your reputation. So you get a little extra experience if you do things the strange way. But the biggest extra experience you get for your group is if you do something that aligns with your product or your bar. So that doesn't really apply to this one. You can kind of just
Gotcha.
go
Just do
however
it.
you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
In transport, what do you think?
Transport.
Yeah, that's
Transport.
probably
Transport.
the easiest.
Okay.
Okay. It would certainly bypass a lot of the things that he had marked as stuff you've got to deal with, like the chime and such.
Right.
Yeah.
They're doing transport.
Okay.
Are we at the loadout point now?
We're at the loadout. Okay. So at this point, I just need to know your loadout. Your loadout is going to be light, which means you can pick from 3 items, normal, which is 5 items, or heavy, which is 6 items. You don't pick any of the items, just to remind you now. You just choose whether you're super inconspicuous, look like you're carrying maybe some concealed weapons, or very obviously armed to the teeth. It's up to you.
Okay.
I'm going
sorry.
normal. Stop.
ASMR style.
God.
Bobby really wants to have OnlyFans.
He's
Only
adding does.
He's adding the creepy part.
enough about me being creepy. We're going to cut back just a little bit because I did look up the rule really quickly on what a transport entails, and it entails you transporting goods or service people or things through a dangerous area. So transport wouldn't be it. If you want to hit them while they're in transit, that still applies, but you're going to want to pick probably assault, stealth, or
Deception.
deception. Thank you.
My vote is deception.
Yeah, That
Agreed.
was my first thought too.
All right.
Okay. All right. Then the light load, you're going normal.
Normal.
Okay.
I'll go light if we're going to use deception.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You're right. Okay.
You got to
I'll
trick
go light.
some.
I'll go light.
Yeah.
Light.
Everybody's character sheet in Roll20, shout out to Roll20 again,
TM.
has the special items that you can carry, and italics don't count against your load for your different things. So, for instance, Jerry, fine clothes and jewelry. If you want to be wearing dressed as a noble, you can have that as part of your load.
Perfect.
Fine disguise kit, fine loaded dice, trick cards, trance powder, a cane sword, and a spirit bane charm are things that you could bring as a slide.
Did they figure it out, or was that the reveal?
You weren't in here, but in the first episode, and I cut that out, dear listener, in case I forget to cut this out. We went through Bonnie's character, and Bonnie's like, I'm a lurk. And it's a lurk. I lurk this way, lurk that way. And then not 10 minutes later, I was like, Jerry, wait. Let's keep it a mystery. Let's not talk about what you are. Like an absolute asshole.
Wow.
So now we can talk about how the Lady of the Docks is, in fact, a slide.
All right.
And has fine disguised things and a cane sword and all kinds of cool shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you can unmark if you need to. So as a spider, you've got things like a fine cover identity. So you can bring papers and stuff as somebody who is not who you are. Fine bottle of whiskey, blueprints, a vial of slumber essence, concealed palm pistols, spirit bane charm, bottles to carry ghosts with. Those are your kind of special things. And then for ancient shroud, you get fine lockpicks, a fine shadow cloak. You don't get all these. These are just things you can choose from,
Right.
A light climbing gear, silence potion vial, dark sight goggles, and a spirit bane charm. Yours are probably the least useful for this particular thing, but also, though, if they're distracting
Well,
and you're
that's
sneaking.
exactly what I was going to say. I could put on the cloak and then boom, we're done.
Yeah, no planning though. All right. So I think we've got the load, we've got the detail. You are hitting them in transit.
Hit him in transit.
Okay. All right. We're jumping straight into it then. Let's start with an engagement roll. We have to see how well this is going at the start of the score. We have, this is the only roll I get to make, so I get to enjoy it. I've got 1D. You get to start with 1, and I get to add 1. Is this a bold or daring operation?
Bold enough for 1 more dice.
Yeah, that is.
Okay, you know what? It's the first one.
In transit?
In
Yeah.
transit.
Are you going out of your way to exploit the target's weaknesses?
No,
I
really.
don't think so. Yeah. You're more using your strength than anything else. Did friends or contacts provide aid?
Like
Yes.
directly? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, sure did. Is the target ill prepared or off guard? Definitely not. So I'm rolling 3 dice. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me get that good sound quality. And then go. Looks like we got a 5, which is success with a consequence. That puts you in a risky position starting off. It's not bad. Risky position means that it's your average shit could hit the fan type situation. All right. So we hear we kind of scroll back, and you hear the clip clop of goat feet. Because remember, horses are not a thing in Dustfall apparently. So a whole team of 4 goats are clip clopping through the middle of the city across some of these old cobblestone bridges over the canals. There is a man sitting in the front seat. He seems kind of pompous. He's got a top hat on over his normal blue coat attire. He's got one of those mustaches that curls out at the edge.
Ooh,
and he's even sporting, believe it or not, a monocle.
Oh.
This man matches the description of one Inspector Finnick that you got from Jaren.
Ah.
You don't see anybody else. He's at the front of a stagecoach. It looks large. It's got more like doors that open, 2 towards the front, 2 towards the back, that kind of open away from each other. It's very, very Cinderella looking, like round almost. Like it's a little fancier than it should be. And it's not because they've got the money to be fancy. It's probably because they just got it donated by one of the high lord houses that rule the docks area as part of their, charitable donations to the city of Duskfall once a year. It's going. You can hear him kind of cracking that whip over the goats' heads, those poor little mountain goats. Strong, though.
Buff
Muscular.
goats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super buff goats.
Tiny heads.
Almost big enough to ride.
Yeah.
All right. We zoom back off of that. It's in transit. It's always dark. You're on a relatively empty street, but there are some bystanders. It is, after all, a risky position. What do you do?
I start to saunter out into the street.
I'm going to put on my cloak.
Okay. All right.
Under, I guess, like one of the street lamps there, and kind of enough light that he can see me, not run me over.
Okay. All right.
And I fall down. It's like, please help me.
What action are we using to try and get this person to stop? This pompous-looking,
Right.
total a-hole to care.
I'm gonna use my sway.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if I can put on those fancy clothes.
Okay.
Or
All right.
I'll have the fancy clothes on. So do I get extra die for that?
Oh man, I'll give you an extra die for fancy clothes.
I want to look like a noble.
So this is going to be risky position for, I'm going to say standard effect. It's nothing crazy will happen, but
5.
okay, success with a consequence. All right, I'm going to say that the consequence is, this is silly, but you, when you throw yourself down on those cobblestones, you might be really good at swaying, but you're not great at swaying physically. So you just like smack into the and you take, I'm going to give you a level 1 harm, unless you want to resist it.
No, I think
A level 1 harm that is just scraped knees.
Oh.
under my breath.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's not good. And he go, oh, is that a lady in the street? Let me stop and offer assistance, my dear.
My lady.
My lady. Oh, he tips his top hat.
Oh, no.
Man with a monocle. I know I could trust you.
I'm in a very important mission. I don't have much time to stop, but I can't help but help a lady in the street.
I'm surrounded by riffraffs. I'm trying to get back home, and I don't know where I'm at. Please help me.
He pulls to a stop. He calls back to somebody. He says, Warris, get up here. I'm sorry. I've got to, that's my apprentice. Let me, and he kind of like locks the thing into a braked position and starts climbing down, just leaves the driver's seat completely open, reaches down, gets really close to you. What are you doing? Do you want to allow him to be that close?
Oh, yeah.
Bonnie's got her hand up.
Is there any way that I can kind of see into the carriage to see if anybody else is in there?
That's interesting. How would you do that? What action would you use? To
Well,
try and get
are the
us in?
windows covered?
The windows, you're probably not close enough yet. to
Oh,
see.
okay.
Yeah, they
Well-
might be tinted.
Might be tinted windows.
Yeah, they're darker windows, so it's harder to see inside, and they're very small too.
Okay. If I use my dark sight goggles, could I see past the tint?
Yeah, I think I'd allow you to do that.
Okay.
What action would you be using to try and get a glimpse in there, though?
I'm
Remember, every time you want to do something,
gonna
try and
use
work that word in
prowl.
there. Okay. All right, prowling over.
Yeah. Prowling over.
Okay, give me that roll.
All right.
This is going to be setting the position. It's risky for standard effect.
Okay. Ooh, a 3.
Ooh, 3 is a failure.
Ooh.
I think what happens is, and now don't forget that you can resist anything. You don't
Okay.
ever have to accept anything.
I don't accept this.
Okay, all right. So
Don't accept it.
Take that stress.
Stress me out.
okay.
Yeah, give her a panic attack.
Yeah. Bring it.
My Zoloft.
Where's the meth?
Where the mushroom meth?
Oh.
The mushroom marijuana.
Oh. You're right.
Edibles.
You're right.
Edibles.
Ooh. See, now there's an idea.
Huh.
There's an idea.
Why did we open a bar? We needed to just have edibles. We
Yeah,
just needed a
that's the
smoke shop.
market.
A smoke shop. That's, yeah.
Oh. We can always change course.
Yeah, we're good.
That's true. I mean, if the
Okay.
alcohol thing doesn't work out.
So you're going to have to resist this roll. You're going to have to make an insight roll. Which, oh gosh, that was terrible. Did you guys all hear that? I just
Yeah.
accidentally knocked this hard. Insight's going to be the total of the different things you have dots in under insight.
Okay.
So for your character,
That's only 2.
yeah. So you get 2 dice, but your highest roll is what you take off of the 6 stress that you take as a consequence for resisting.
Oh,
this.
gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you have to take 6 stress?
6 stress, but then the highest
You roll a
will
1,
take-
you'll take 5. Is the
Oh,
most you can
okay.
take. But yeah, you could take 5 stress right now.
I'm
to
doing
resist
it.
This.
I'm doing it, guys.
Do it.
Here we go.
You want to get that 6? Let's get that hard 6. Oh,
I got a 4.
that's not bad. So you only take 2 stress.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take it. Okay.
Okay.
We'll
2
have a
stress.
spa after this.
Yeah. So tell me what that looks like. How do you push yourself? How do you stress out? Like, how does the stress affect you when you're about to be seen? I'll say that you get up there and it's dumb luck.
Yeah.
Warris opens the door and
Yeah.
sticks his head out and looks right in your direction.
Right.
And you see that he is armed with a pistol that he has in his hand. He kind of seems a little bit jumpy even. It's shaking, a little trembly, little dangerous that he's there in the first place. And he peeks his head out and he's about to spot you. What happens?
I feel like I clumsily, probably, because I failed the roll originally, dive for cover. Because I was not expecting him at all. So, like, fling myself against a wall or hide behind a tree, or do the thing where you, like, make your body narrow and you hide behind a tree, like that kind of thing. Like, cartoon. Let's go with that. Yeah, cartoon style. Like,
Yeah.
oh, God, I hope he doesn't see me, but,
Maybe there's like a street sign for a shop and you literally contort your body
Yeah.
to fit right behind it.
Yeah, put my arms over my
Exactly.
head like a stop sign.
Yeah. And we'll say that the stress comes from like just that sheer
Yeah.
overload of adrenaline.
Yes.
Of almost being spotted.
Yeah.
In that moment, you're like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh
Yep.
fuck. And
I'm
you
a
have to-
tree.
yeah. And you make him believe that you're a tree. Okay. All right. So you don't get a glimpse in the back of the thing. Warris opens the door, shuts it behind himself, and then kind of climbs the side of the carriage up into the driver's seat. He sits the gun down on his lap. He's like, "I've got me gun, my lord. I don't." And the other guy, whose name is Inspector Finnick, says, "Now I've told you, you don't have to call me my lord. That's stupid. Stop holding the gun. You're going to shoot it by accident, you idiot. Ignore my apprentice. He's very new. He's very, very wet behind the ears, milady."
He looks new, but you look experienced.
Tell me.
Kind of snuggle in it a little bit more.
Very forward. Tell me, those jewels around your neck, did those come from Alistair's and Silkshore? They're beautiful.
Absolutely. You have a wonderful eye.
Oh,
Your wife must be lucky.
I certainly do have an eye. And no wife to speak of. Surprise, surprise. I know. And he
Oh my
reaches
goodness.
down and he kind of like fingers those jewels a little bit. Like he like runs his finger down. I'm picturing maybe like some like really large, like
very.
multifaceted, like maybe bright blue gems or something
Yeah.
around your neck to go with that blonde hair. Yes, go ahead.
Oh no, I was like, ugh.
Christy has her hand up. I thought to be like, I'd like to take an action, but instead it is literally to hold off the awkwardness.
She,
of
I
the
think she
person.
wants to hear more about how he's fondling the jewels.
Oh,
He's running the jewels.
he was running the jewels. He fingers them.
No.
He fingers those jewels.
Stop it.
Yeah, I was trying to push
Push away.
Finnick
Oh,
away.
she's pushing
Spinning
him
off.
away.
Yeah, helping.
Chrissy
Literally
comes up
trying
and
to-
just pushes him. That's
Yeah.
it.
I'm so disgusted.
Ew.
Emmy's like,
No.
get away from her.
Yeah. Weirdo.
He says, "You're a long way from any reputable place, my dear. How about I give you a ride for perhaps one of your rings? I wouldn't mind. I would love to help a lady. Before you look at me like that, I don't get paid a whole lot as a blue coke.
Ooh,
Blue
that's
coat.
a good one.
As a blaconk.
A black conch.
I don't get paid
Blaconk.
much as a blaconk. So if you
Blaconk.
could just give me
A diet blue coat.
a diet blue
Blue
coat,
Coke?
a blue coat zero.
A blue coat zero.
Yeah. This guy really is a blue coat zero, though. I think we can all agree. He says, for one such as yourself, it surely would be nothing to part with a simple ring. Yes.
While they're talking, could I use a tune to maybe try and summon a ghost to fire the gun? Just make it look like the one guy did it, but maybe.
Let me ask you this: did you change your ability to take that veteran thing where you can command ghosts now? Because if not, no, you can't.
Okay,
You
well-
have to take a whisper power.
Okay, well, I did want to. I just didn't write it down.
Do you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I still have infiltrator written down, but I
Yeah.
do want to be more,
Yeah.
have more power with ghosts for sure.
All right, we'll say this then for the listeners at home. Veteran abilities are not super outlined in the book really well. It might even be one of the things that's out of the Deep Cuts, the book that just came out fairly recently. That's amazing, but it allows you to take abilities out of other playbooks in order to kind of broaden your horizons as a character and get into some things you might not have gotten the opportunity. So as a lurk, Bonnie wants to take the ability to command ghosts from the
Yes.
Whisper Tree. Which I completely support because we have 3 players and it's
Right.
not a huge group. So, all right, let me take one moment to look this up real quick.
Thank you.
While you're looking that up, where are the doors on this?
Both sides of the wagon,
Oh, okay.
So front and back?
side and side, like left side, right side.
Okay.
Yeah. Think of like one of those old stage coaches.
All right.
I mean, I think there's only 2 people here.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm
They think that
thinking
they're gonna
maybe.
go off, yeah. They're
That we know
scrambling, and we just take the whole thing.
I mean, we could.
you would take the whole thing? I was thinking flashback.
Oh, you want? Oh, you know what?
Oh,
You're in control.
flashback.
You.
Oh,
do
that's
it.
Oh,
great.
I love a good
Yeah.
Do it.
flashback.
Okay. I got to charge you 1 to 3 stress for the flashback. We'll get to it in just a second. You don't even have to pay for it, Bonnie. It just lets you command ghosts with a tune and not be terrified of them.
Woohoo.
Wow.
Okay, so let's resolve ghost summoning, and then we'll do the flashbacks. I love it. All right, what do you do over there, Shroud?
I feel like Shroud communicates with ghosts. She likes to do things with her hands, like rubbing her fingers together and whispering, kind of like, they're going in like circular motions, and she just starts, speaking into the ether, and then using her hand motions to draw them in, and then commanding the ghosts to go fire the gun somewhere.
What?
Yeah, he's gonna go fire that
Somewhere,
gun somewhere into
but
the
not
sky.
toward us.
Okay.
Not to you, but like into the sky or whatever.
Not,
But
not
Listen.
straight up either, because straight up it can still hurt.
it's fine.
I'm gonna
Really
say
not
Fine.
us.
You're fine.
I'm gonna say this is a desperate action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
desperate.
I'm being a stop sign, Bobby.
So
I'm
yeah.
desperate.
So go ahead and tick one part of experience on your sheet for
Yeah.
taking a desperate action.
Okay.
Yep, right up the top there.
Oh.
No, it's right over where let's see, you're doing a tune. It's resolve.
Resolve,
You
okay.
take a resolve point.
Okay. A resolve point. Okay. Where
So
did-
there's like
oh, here it is.
slashes
Okay.
right next to the word resolve. Yeah, there you
see.
go.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You tick one of those, taking a desperate action for standard effect,
Okay.
but it just means that if something goes wrong here,
Yeah.
it could have serious consequences.
We're doing it.
Okay.
We're doing it.
All right.
Okay. Can
I want to hear your version of the whispers. I'm just having to take everyone's word for it that you can hear.
It's me, the stop sign. Help me. No, I'm not really a stop sign. I know it looks like it, but I'm not.
Kind of sounds
I have eyes.
what's the lady from White Lotus? Hi, ghosts.
I'm not really a stop sign.
I'm talking to a stop sign right now. That's what the ghost is going to sound like.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right. Okay, yeah.
I have 1 and a tune. Can I take a stress?
You can take 2 stress to push yourself for an
Okay.
extra die.
Okay.
Yep. Or
doing it. I'm
yeah.
doing it.
Yep. Okay. Sounds
I'm
good.
doing it.
You sure? Yeah. Okay. All right. Give me that
All right.
roll.
Here we go. Firing the gun. A 3 and a 1.
Oh my God.
Holy
Okay.
It's fine. We're fine.
Damn. Desperate action.
This is going to be fine.
I mean, it's got to be fine. we got to get out of here.
With desperate action and a failure, I'm gonna say you.
no.
So yeah, it's really bad.
Sorry. guys.
You summon the ghost. I'm not gonna give you direct harm. I feel like that would be interesting, but only for a second. I want the whole group to suffer for your terrible lack of judgment and reckless
All of
behavior.
us?
Wow.
And you. It's not that you don't summon the ghost or that you don't do it strongly enough. It's that you go too hard.
Oh God.
You're all the fires of ever commands you, and like you get into it maybe.
The stop
Like
sign.
someone looks over, or like Warris looks over and is like, what? What's happening over there, my lord? I can't remember his fucking voice. It's only and then a ghost, a literal unsummoned revenant
Oh
appears
God.
in the
Oh,
middle of the
God.
street, moving. It's like almost looks like flames that have been captured within the silhouette of a body.
Oh,
You can see like that greenish, neonish, blue-green, aspect of just warped field of energy around this body, and it starts taking steps. And as it does, it leaves burning footprints, and its eyes glow with this hazy white light. And it looks towards the mustachioed man that is now draping himself around poor Lady of the Docks.
I mean,
And it opens its mouth, and it does that weird like reverse like as it moves towards her. What the hell are you guys gonna do? It just got real bad. Real quick though, you did want to do a flashback.
yo, yeah.
That could save everything.
Oh, well, this is changing my flashback,
Okay.
baby. I don't.
No problem.
Well, my flashback was originally going to be that we had an opportunity earlier when they had stopped for a little drink, a drinky drink.
Oh, wow.
Detective Finnick had stopped for a lemonade
Okay.
at the lemonade stand.
Okay.
And we were able to go up and unlock the side door.
That's so good.
I'll say this. Because you can't, technically that would be still within the time frame of this score if he's already going. But you knew his name ahead of time. I would easily allow you to very quickly, very quietly try and pick his pocket for that key and then make a mold.
Ooh.
And now we didn't take time to make a real key out of that mold. So we would be doing it prison style where you're making a very flimsy version of the key.
Okay.
But I would allow that for
Okay.
2 stress.
All right. 2 stresses.
And I got to know, what action are you going to take to get that key off that man?
I am going to do.
And don't forget, everybody, you can always ask for a devil's bargain for more dice or to change effect.
We're going to do finesse.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Finesse. Oh, 5. Success with the consequence.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So so we set the scene. You're in a happy bar. You sidle up to him. He looks up, and even outside, he doesn't have his top hat on, but he does have an absolutely outrageous coat over. It's like blue coat, but it's got medals on it. And he's sitting at the table, and he's like, yes, and another for my friends. We are drinking well tonight, for tomorrow we go on an adventure. Isn't that right, Warris? Perhaps we'll meet some ladies in the street. So gross. I feel gross saying it. And you just sneak up. Tell me what you do.
Yeah, so I just walk around and I saddle up kind of close to him on the other side of a timid guy.
Warris.
Warris.
Yeah, Constable Warris.
I get on the opposite side of Constable Warris, and I just happen to walk right by and kind of pick up those keys. I walk off, go to the bathroom, and do something really quickly and run right back and
Press it into some, like a bar of soap or something, and clap it together, and slip it back. Yeah.
slip it right back.
I see. You do kind
Hell
of like
yeah.
a cool like robot move, or just showing off. Just showing off your success. Bump,
Yeah.
but down, and then drop it right back in his pocket.
I do that more after the fact. It's celebration.
Now, the consequence, I think, is going to be that it is a flimsy key. So I'm going to give you limited effect whenever you actually try and use it to get into whatever lockbox happens to be in this thing. But it does give you the ability to try and just wholesale, if you can just get someone in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we flash forward back to the ghost is walking over. He doesn't even see it. You see it, however. And you might have to resist this in a minute. Seeing a ghost, for those who are not of the whisper way, it can drive you mad. What are you going to do?
Ooh.
Turn away,
sorry.
lady.
I'm so sorry.
Look away.
I'm so sorry.
Would I, given our background, would I have experienced a ghost before?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'm not like crapping myself.
It's one thing to know the path, and it's another to walk the path, though.
Oh,
To
okay.
quote Morpheus, right? Always a good thing. And so you've dealt with them. You've probably even watched Shroud fuck with a ghost before, like, and just get it to do something,
Hell yeah,
get it to
we
go
have.
into
I've
yeah.
never seen him like
Yeah.
up close and personal.
But yeah, you got this is more than a ghost. This is one of those feral ghosts, though, and it has been summoned in the middle of you, and for a fact this thing has the ability to do you physical harm if it wants to, or perhaps even worse, take your body and steal it from you. Subsume your soul and take over your body and walk it around like a puppet. So scary. That's what gives you pause.
I stand straight up, nervous, trying to steal my back. This is the body you want, not me. This is the body. As I point down to Finnick.
Finnick?
Oh.
Okay. All right. You tell me what skill you're going to use, and I'll tell you whether it's got any kind of good effect. You're in a desperate situation for sure.
Sway's the best I got.
Yeah. Okay. You're going to try and sway the ghost and hope that there's something in there, something human enough left that it listens to your words. All right. Yeah. Sure. Desperate for. If you want to do a devil's bargain, you're supposed to ask for them, but we're still kind of new. For a devil's bargain, the devil's bargain being that an extra die, if while you're doing that, you're okay with gesturing just kind of wildly in front of you, and it could go for him, but it could also go for Warris up top, and it could technically also go for one of your friends out back. Devil's bargain for an extra die. You don't have to take it.
I'll take the bargain.
Okay.
Oof.
All right.
Wow.
All right. Desperate standard effect.
You
Let's
know
see what happens.
I'm not even surprised that lady is risking
did say
our
that.
lives here.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There's that
That's
sweet six.
beautiful.
Nice.
All right. Okay, you stand up. You say, not this body. This is the one you want. And you gesture in front of you. And somehow your words get through to it. And it looks down. And it looks into Finnick's eyes.
And he doesn't see it, right?
Finnick doesn't. Oh, yeah, you're right. Fuck, he hasn't looked at it yet. So maybe he turns. He looks at what you're looking at. And it meets the ghost's eyes. And he doesn't even have time to scream. He's just like, oh! And then it seeps into his open mouth. The whole thing just pours itself down his open, gaping maw into his throat. And the next thing you know, it's looking at you with those almost glowing white eyes. You see him kind of fade down until just the colored parts of his irises are. Is it iris that's colored? It is,
Yes.
right? Just the colored part of the iris is now kind of faintly glowing. And it says, to smell the air is so sweet. I haven't done this in so long. And it's at this moment you notice that the locket you're trying to get is around his neck.
Dang it.
What do you want to do? This would be a killer place also for us to instead be like, find out what happens next week.
Oh,
10 o'clock.
let's do it.
It is
Yeah.
9:57.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do. Is that good with everybody?
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's find out what happens next week.
Oh my
man.
gosh.
Oh my God.
Wow.
We've been Haunted Halls. Thank you so much for listening. Shout out to my fine co-hosts, Bonnie, Christy, Jerry. I'm Bobby White. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Haunted Halls is a production of WSC Media. Bobby White is your host with Jerry, Christy, and Bonnie voicing our scoundrel protagonists. Introductory song by Josh Wagner, Toby Bradner, Brandon O'Connor, with additional music by Bobby White. For more information, catch us on hauntedhalls.com, spelled HAULS. And if you like what you've been hearing, please support us on our Patreon.